Listen, I will forever support my friends. Like, if you got something going on, I will forever support you.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly, look in my eyes.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the club where anybody's welcome and everybody can join. If you are new to the club, welcome. And if you have been here, thank you for coming back. I'm really appreciative that you clicked on this video, and I really hope you'll join by subscribing and turning on that bell so that you get notified whenever we have our meetings. Let's get into it. I do have another plug. I actually have two plugs today. I came back double this time. These earrings from a good friend of mine, and I'm popular today. People blowing me up today. Let me turn my phone off. These earrings are actually from a really good friend of mine, and I will insert her business page as well. Now, if y'all watched Monday's video, y'all know I had on like a rust color shirt that was from another friend's video. This black shirt is also from that same friend. Go check them out. So today I want to talk about dating with intentionality in 2021. I'm tired of just dating just to pass time. Like, I never really did that, but people that do that, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. I think we were done with that last year, but Miss Rona came around, and so we couldn't really date the way we wanted to. I don't know about you guys, but in 2020 I saw a whole bunch of people getting married, a whole bunch of people getting proposed to, a whole bunch of people having babies, which makes sense because you up in the house. I'm gonna leave that right there. But no, seriously, in 2021 I am pushing for everyone to date with intentionality. If you are here to pass time, keep moving. Having your goals, having standards, and not letting those standards waver, because I think a lot of us have the standards and then we meet somebody and they kind of just go out the window. And so making sure that we're dating with intentionality, I think that's a thing for 2021, like intentionality. And and I can even broaden that, and it doesn't have to be about dating. Like, it can really just be about who you let in your space, who you let in your life, who you talking to, who's your friends. Like, and sometimes that means you gotta cut the family. Sometimes family are the main ones you have to cut off. You don't want to at all. I mean, you want to have, close relationship with your family, but sometimes they're the main ones that's got to go. Dating intentionally in 2021 looks like, if you aren't making plans or have made plans, get off my phone. Dating with intentionality in 2021 looks like, stop texting me what you doing or when am I going to see you, and just make a plan. Let me know what you want to do, because you're the one who wants to see me. I'm gonna leave that right there. Dating with intentionality also looks like, if you aren't ready, then sit down somewhere. It's okay. If you aren't really ready for a relationship, then stop looking for it. Stop inviting it. I know for me, when I was younger, my mom told me, she used to tell me all the time, she used to tell me, write down a list of everything you want in a guy. And of course, over the years that stuff changes and you realize what's important and what's not. And oftentimes I think we figure out what we don't want before we, get what we do want, or what we need, should I say. And so she used to tell me to do that. And at first I kind of was like, okay, cool, I write it down. So I literally wrote down every little thing I wanted in a man. And as I grew, this is probably like I was like 13 probably when she told me this. It changed when I was 16. It changed when I was 18. It changed when I was 20. It changed when I was 21. Now I'm 23. And it hasn't really changed since I turned 21. No, I'm lying. It's changed. Probably the end of my 22nd year on this earth. So into 23, it changed again, and it has become more succinct and concise and pointed. So dating intentionally in 2021 looks like not wavering on those things. And it's crazy because I think Nicole Larry Parker just released how she ended up, getting Boris Kojo. And it was literally the same thing my mother told me. I was like, what? Turn up then. Because it was funny, because after I made the list, I went back to her, I said, okay, cool, I made the list, now what? And she's like, now become all those things. I'm like, oh, okay. You cannot attract what you want until you become that thing. If you want someone that's loving, be loving. If you want someone who knows how to communicate, learn how to communicate effectively. If you want someone who is honest and respectful and is old soul, or is believes in chivalry and all that kind of stuff, do that. And you will attract it. That's real simple. Real simple. It can be difficult because that means you have to look within yourself and do some work internally. But that's pretty much it. Dating with intentionality is so important. I think a lot of times when we don't date with intentionality, you get sucked into whatever presents itself. And so making sure that you have goals, not that you go into it talking about marriage, but have goals. Like I know I saw this quote one time that said, if I'm dating you, my goal is to marry you and to do something else. But I'm not just looking to pass time. Let me find it because it's going to irritate me if I don't find it. It says, if I date you, my goal is to marry you, build with you, grow with you. I'm not dating you to pass time. I see potential in you. Now, don't get that twisted, ladies. This is a public service announcement to ladies. Just because he has potential, don't get sucked into that. Potential is just what you could be doing. It means that you aren't doing it. It means that you could be doing it, but you're not. That's what potential is. So, ladies, don't get sucked into that. And sometimes men get sucked into that. So, fellas, don't get sucked in. If she has all the potential in the world, but she don't think she has the potential, guess what? Y'all ain't going nowhere. So, and you're gonna be wasting your time. So, vetting these people properly outside of how they look or, what they do or how they make you feel, or sometimes if it's an old flame, trying to rekindle something when it's really dead and should be left alone. I want to see more of us like dating intentionally. I want to see more of us dating with the goal to, grow old with that person and not just for the time being. And let me also say this. What in the heck is catching a vibe? I see people say that all the time. I'm just looking for a vibe. What is that? Because here's the thing. For me personally, like if you just tell me, hey, I'm just looking to smash, or I'm looking for a relationship or whatever, I have a lot of respect for you because you had enough courage to stand in whatever truth you were. Now, am I the one for you? Probably not. But at least you had enough, gall to stand in whatever was truth for you. Now, this catching the vibe stuff, I'm beginning to notice that it really just means you're trying to smash. Just say that. What's the worst gonna happen? I'm gonna say yes or no. And then we both don't waste time. I ask some questions up front, and people don't like me for that, but I ask questions up front. Like, I'm gonna ask you what you're looking for. I'm gonna ask you what your short-term goals, long-term goals. Like, I'm gonna be like, think like a man. I'm asking all the questions because that way it might be a little, intense, but at least I figure out, and you figure out, what's going on with the other person. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not coming here asking you like super serious or super personal questions, but just general questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't need your whole, vision for your business or anything. I don't need all that. Just tell me the general of where you see yourself in 5 years. And if you can't answer that question, I know, okay, cool, we finna be friends. And maybe not that, because you have to be intentional about that too. Whole other video. But in the matters of the heart, it's really important to be intentional. I believe that's why the word says to guard your heart. Because one thing my parents used to always tell me is, it's two things you don't play with: people's money and people's emotions. So I try my best to be as truthful and forthcoming and open as I can. Sometimes it doesn't work like that all the time because I am that person who is, if I'm talking to you and you don't know how to have a conversation, I will just stop talking to you. I'm good for that. I'm good for that. And it's so shocking to me that there are people out there who still have this type of conversation. Hey, what you doing? Oh, nothing much, just chilling with the family. Oh, okay, cool, bet. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? 5 minutes later. Hey, what you doing? The same thing I was doing 5 minutes ago. Come on, bring some depth. Bring you to the conversation. Like, if that's all you got, whew. And it's not like nobody, that's never how much anybody has. Like, we are so much more than just that. So that's a pet peeve of mine. Clearly I have feelings about that. But yeah, that's what I want us to work on, is being intentional about who we let in our lives, whether that be a romantic interest, business partnerships, friendships, who we call family. Because I really believe that you don't get to choose your family. Like, you don't get to choose the family you're born into, clearly. But you get to choose who you call for friend and who you call a relative. I take those very seriously. There are people that are in no way connected to me by blood that I consider closer to me than some of the people that are connected to me by blood. It's just the fact of life. It's just the truth of life. I really think that's important. I think after a year like 2020, we can really see how we're being intentional or not being intentional. Because if we learned anything in 2020, life is short. Someone can be here today and gone tomorrow. So being very intentional about who's in your life, what kind of energy you're putting out, what kind of energy you're getting in, who's feeding into you, who's building you up, who's tearing you down. Be intentional, be purposed, be pointed about why you're doing what you're doing and who you let in your life. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you liked it, if you have any other opinions, if you have anything to add to the conversation, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on that bell so that you get notifications whenever we have more meetings. Until next time, I love y'all. Stay safe out here in these streets. I'm out.